Been called lots of stuff. Yeah, I've done a lot of deed. I've had it rough and tough. You know I've smoked a lot of weed. Mellow, don't you know? Well, I've learned a thing or two, like when and where I should go to, what I should or shouldn't do. I've been left alone, no company, but that's alright with me, 'cause I'm big and ugly. I'm big and ugly. I'd like to let it grow, you know I'm talking about my beard. I'll have you all know that I know sometimes it might look weird, but I got a friend upstairs whom I'll keep confiding in. I know he's there 'cause when I knock he always lets me in. Brings me peace with what it is and what is not for me. To accept what I see, they're looking back at me as big and ugly. Big and ugly. I could have been small and cute and play a flute like a dream, or sing like an angel, maybe play ukulele. But I got to work with my hands and keep dragging it along, banging on that old guitar. Sometimes I'll write a song. I lose a few friends, so it seems I got no enemies. 'Cause what you get is what you see, that's how it is with me, 'cause I'm big and ugly. I'm big and ugly. Big and ugly.
Hey, everybody.
The harmonica.
Yeah, you gotta
Sometimes
love
it's long.
you gotta love a little harmonica, don't you?
Do you like the Billy Joel harmonica or like the country harmonica?
That's a real tough question. I'm gonna go country harmonica.
I don't know. Like
I don't know if you know this, but I believe the Billy Joel harmonica is a guy.
I don't know if you knew this.
I don't know if you know this, but it's a guy's dick.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah, Big Uglies.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
We were off last week. Would you like to?
I was in Washington. I was in Arlington, Virginia, Washington, D.C., burying my father at Arlington. It was the most like somber, cool, awesome, beautiful thing. It really was a cool ass ceremony, and like one of the things that like when my dad was like suffering, going through us, even before going to cancer treatments and all that, when I just mean his like regular life. My dad was wounded at 18, so like he had me at 40. He just always had suffering in that way. I don't think he ever would imagine in like a million years that they would like honor him in such a way. Because it would always be like, they don't give a fuck about you when you come home. You know, like my dad
treatment of veterans.
I played football. My dad was like, if you or your brother joined the military, I'd break both your arms and legs. And then like when they later in his life, you know, he like went and helped like young vets that when they got like he would show them how to like fill out right paperwork and you make sure they went to group like the therapy shit that they had at the VA, and like his like heart sort of softened towards that. And it was like, oh yeah, these kids are going through the same shit that I went through. Anyway, the ceremony is amazing. I'll just sort of tell people about it in case they ever experience something.
Yeah.
So when we first pull in, first we drive into the thing. It's 655 acres of stuff. There's 450,000 people have been there, are buried there, including JFK, and Taft is the other president that's buried there. RFK is buried there.
Is that a big plot? The Taft plot?
You would think.
I would imagine that to be a mausoleum.
It's so the
refrigerated, preferably.
The whole thing was like we drive in there, and then they tell us to meet. We had to go this in the building. We met in like a family room where you met with the person who's like you're assigned to you, which is like the escort and handles the whole entire procession, and then you meet with the chaplain. And chaplain was this African dude who loves him some god. You know, Africans love Christian Africans are, you know, super about God, you know. For sure, and he seen me. It's funny too because he seen me. I'm all black suit, you know, I'm decked out. But I had my rosaries and I had the Italian wood ones that was like hanging. And he goes, "Are you married?" I was like, "No." He said, "Yes." I go, "I have a girlfriend. I'm single." He says, "You would make excellent priest." And I was like, "Huh?" Everybody like in the room, my parents' friends, my mom's cousins, everybody. It was just like, "You talking to this guy?" Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Crazy. So but we go into like the back out to cars and procession. They explain how everything is gonna go, and they said
now is it possible that this Catholic priest was like, "We need men of your size to protect us because we've had some bad press lately, and we need the bodyguards in the church."
Well, he was more like, "Hey, Carl, he is very African in this way." Yes, he was very, and Christ is your Lord and Savior.
Oh, right? I like those. Those are my favorite blacks.
Yo, dude, he was awesome. The service was beautiful, but so they tell us ahead of time, the service you're gonna have, we're gonna do. We're give your father the Catholic rites and do that, and then I'm gonna go into his military service. And then they explained to us, like, you're going to look off and to the right, and there's going to be the 21 gun salute, and then you'll look out the other way, and there's a bugle player. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we go and go into like the procession line, and my dad's in the hearse that has like a bunch of glass and where you can like see in it, and the flag is draped over it. Mm-hmm. And we start driving around the property. It's just so massive, and there's like crazy headstones from like people on different Apollo missions, or astronauts and Tuskegee fighter pilots and all types of
American heroes.
Dude, it's fucking nuts. Like when you look at it, you go, and it'll say like 3-star general. And you go, oh shit, right? Yeah. Anyway, so we drive to like where his plot is and where the ceremony be, and then they make us pull over on the side, and I'm like behind the car that my mom's in, and then they made the rest of the cars go on the sides, and they like split our party up, each set of cars on either side of the street, and then the hearse pulls forward. But while it was there, we parked the cars and I go, oh, it's standing in the road, and standing in the middle of the road is 6 honor guard and their commanding officer, full dress, saluting the hearse as it pulls up. When it pulls up to them, they stay saluted the entire time until they're hit with and then they snap their feet together and then like moved in formation, like did like this snake sidewinder thing, but are moving in perfect formation. The one dude, starts to pull my dad out and drape it with the flag, and these are all the honor guard of the pallbearers. They start pulling him out. Everybody around is chaplain. Everybody's at full salute. They take him out of the car, snap their feet again, and they march him up the hill to the plot. And that's where, we have seats that are just seated there. And you look out, and there's 7 more honor guard out here. And they laid my father down and then held the flag that was draped over him. They held it in the air across them like it was across a football field. Mm-hmm. How they do it. And then they started, the chaplain started the Catholic rites and did that and explained.
And how are you in this moment? Like, because to me, this has got to be like both like fucking awesome and also.
So right now in this moment, he's saying all the things that'll get me like I'm already like, but they're sort of like happy tears in the sense that like he's like, you know, he's in the light of God. He's reading scripture and everything. It's so beautiful. And then he told us ahead of time, like, I'm gonna do the Catholic rites and do this, and then there'll be a brief moment and then I'll go right into his military service. So he went from doing that, and it was great. And I'm holding rosaries. I'm still like crying, and I know people behind me can tell I'm crying because my shoulders moving. And my mom sort of like puts her hand on my knee and stuff, and like, okay, cool. I'm sitting with my brother.
The old battle axe probably never shed a single tear, did she?
Dude, listen to this. So they go right into the military service, and he's like, Carl Franks Batali. He was like E5, Sergeant E5, and he's like saying his rank, Purple Heart veteran. And he explained that of all the people here, and this is where it started getting gangster. Like he goes, there's over 450,000 people here, and I want to remind you, not a single plot here can be bought or purchased. Every single one of these is bought in blood and earned.
I'm hard right now.
Earned. He said every spot is earned. And he said, your father, and he said,
did he say bought in blood?
Well, he said earned, and then he said Carl spilled the blood, one of the ultimate sacrifice for that. He spilled blood for this country. That's what I want you to know what a Purple Heart means. And he's telling him he's a 2-time Purple Heart, blah, blah, blah. And saying all this stuff. It's beautiful. And then he says, now the guy we had as the escort says, if we could all please stand, right? So we go and stand, and he tells us to look off to the right, and that's where the 7 honor guard are standing so they can do a shot. And dude, they go, zip, hop! And I was like, okay, they didn't even get the gun up to their shoulders, and they popped, bow, right? And they were, bow! It caught everybody off guard, and then it was right into it, and they got it up. They get it up to like their bicep almost after they right there, bam again, right? And then there's a little bit of silence after the gunshots, and then we look out into our left, and it's just
oh, dude,
the single taps playing on the bugle. My mom fucking loses it.
Yeah,
gone, like done. So now I went from her sort of consoling me in that moment, and my brother like giving me like a hey buddy, it's okay thing, to I'm just consoling my mom. She is like, this is where it finally hit everybody. You hear taps playing in the middle of Arlington,
that's boom,
everybody's done. It's waterworks for everybody.
Well, and it also has to be almost like a final bell, like this is the end.
Oh, dude, but then it gets even cooler, right? So mind you, they're holding the flag the whole time, right? So after taps plays, it's just more silence, and then those pallbearer honor guard start folding the flag, and they do their in position. They have their own stance, their own thing. They fold the flag up.
It's like it's all very cool.
Everything is regimented like to the T, and it's treated with the utmost respect. And so they finally fold the flag up. They hand it to the commanding officer. He walks over to my mom, gets on a knee, doesn't break eye contact with her the entire time, looks her in the face and says, on behalf of the President of the United States, the United States Army, and they say his rank, they say everything again. They say, it is my utmost honor to hand you this flag. And dude, I'm like in him. And so then there's this lady that comes by, and she's known as, the Arlington lady, and they work for like the Army, the Secretary of the Army, right? That they work, and she hand delivers a card to my mom and says, on behalf of the United States Army and the Secretary of the Army, and she hands them the personal card, and then she says, as a fellow Vietnam vet who was in country, this one is special to me, right? And there's a saying, and it's going to go on my father's headstone, but there's a saying when Vietnam vets pass or go on, they say, welcome home, right? So my mom and this lady, the Arlington lady, have that exchange. And my mom, even like as she's like holding her in this embrace, and my mom said to her, welcome home. And she was like, and said to her, said, welcome home and thank you. And like, dude, so it was but it was awesome, dude. Like it was the most awesome shit ever, dude. Like, and the also thing, I went to the Vietnam Wall and the Korean stuff, but like the Vietnam Wall actually hit me harder because like I lived with a Vietnam vet my whole life, but it starts from it's just on a sidewalk. So it starts from a curve where the sidewalk begins, gets high, tall, and then it, dips down to another curve. And on each one of the parts of the wall, it's all names. So even on the curved parts where it gets really skinny, there's still a name.
Yeah.
And the big parts of the wall, it'd be like E25, the entire company dead, right? Gone. Mm-hmm. And then you look at, and you go down to these curves, and it'll say whatever the company, it'll be like D5. Mm-hmm. And it's just 5 names. And it was like, there's so many names on the wall, but in that moment, it hit me like the hardest of thinking, wow, everybody in this company knew that they all died and they all went out like that. But I was thinking about, man, think about the people and the dudes in this company where the only people died were these 5 guys and they all lived. And they think about that every day. And I was like, oh shit, my dad was dealing with like survivor's remorse.
Oh yeah.
All this shit. And it hit me so fucking hard. And then the funeral was the next day.
What's it like to live with the memory of men you served
dude.
that
Dude. Yeah, because you look and go, well, this whole company died and we're honoring them. You go, that only one guy died from this company. Yeah. Imagine your whole company coming back and go, hey, Ralph didn't make it.
Oh my God, dude, it's so fucking crazy. I almost said Ralph when you said Ralph. I literally was about to say Ralph when you said Ralph. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. And that's so that whole like sombering thing was great. I mean, my dad's martial arts students and family friends, like they showed up, and my dad's friend actually made a joke. He goes, your dad didn't say the nicest thing about Black people all the time. And I think it's funny that the people putting them in the ground and treating them with the most respect are the Black people. Yeah, and I was just like, what are you talking about? My dad loved Black people. He just, he didn't like ends.
Yeah. That would be my dad's luck too. With a veteran funeral, he would.
He just literally just go, can you believe they're trying to put me in the ground these hoops?
Exactly. Yeah, they got these fucking.
What, I got a backboard on my casket?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there weren't none of them out in the ships with us. I'll tell you that. They don't do Navy.
Yeah, so in being in Washington also, when with this going on and you're just like thinking about, fuck man, Lincoln Memorial, look at all this shit, look at the fucking, you just start having this, especially like being in Arlington for a day, and I there is this like reverence for America that gets like sort of restored in you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless you're soulless or and I say that saying, man, what an awesome way to send off my dad and grieving and stuff. And then the Charlie shit happened this week.
Yeah. Well, and even before that, the subway.
Oh, the bus. The bus. Yeah.
That was a
car thing.
Brutal. I told you earlier in the week, I go, there's like 3 deaths I've seen in my life that will stay with me forever. Like that really turn my stomach. One was that Eastern Pennsylvania snow shoveling thing that happened during the pandemic.
Neighbors like shot each other.
Yeah, well, no, they didn't shoot each other.
Or he shot the neighbor.
The one guy went in and they were like, "What are you going to do, faggot?" And he just went into his house and got a rifle and executed them both at point blank range, like in the middle of the street. And that is going to stay with me forever. And then the arena bus one or subway, whatever it was. I think it was a train.
Yeah, train
or
car.
it was a light rail, but that one was brutal, and then the Charlie one was absolutely brutal. I mean,
yeah.
And,
it's a really strange thing to know that, I mean, as kids and teenagers and things like that, we had to seek out shit like Faces of Death, and all that. And even then, I was like, dude, I don't want to see this. Like, yeah, so, and it'll be like a bunch of people gathered around and like, dude, you got to see this. I go, I don't want to.
Yeah, this
is like a time. It's really strange that you can just see death in 4K put on your phone, and
seconds after it happens.
And I was already in a space of like loss and grief, and then sort of had this like awesome closure at the end of the week, you know, because of the funeral. I flew back feeling good about like getting back on the horse, and then whoa, a range of emotions.
Well, and talk a little bit like it's got to be very different for you in the sense that you're kind of coming out of this grief thing with your dad with this not newfound, but maybe reinvigorated love for country, love for America. And then you see this thing with Charlie Kirk on a Wednesday, and it's like, this is not
irredeemable.
This is an attack on America.
Yeah, but then you look at the like even the people who are cheering, and like TMZ tried to say that their people weren't cheering. Do you see the breakdown of like somebody broke down like the timeline of the actual car chase and what was happening? And guess what? In the car chase that they were watching, the news coverage literally said, "We're going to switch now. We have word that conservative influencer Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck during an event or something." That was said during that car chase that TMZ tried to say that. That's what our people were cheering for. They're like, yeah, they were watching a car chase, and ABC 7 announced that. Right. And so they were cheering for that. They're just lying. But yeah, after seeing people, I mean, cheer it on, and
I just want to say for the record, as somebody who's been in the TMZ building, security there very low, to the degree that I don't know that I would be broadcasting that we were cheering about somebody's fucking death, because you can pretty much walk up on that building. There's like a fat Mexican guy at the gate. Okay, like these people. You know, these people act like they're in some sort of fucking fortress of solitude where they can be cunts, absolute cunts. And it's like, hey, man, you know.
Well, they're this stance that they have that like, well, if you're a piece of shit, when you say piece of shit things like fucking you don't believe in abortion and stuff like that, and somebody takes you out, I mean, hey, that's what happens. I mean, hey, you charge people too much for healthcare, you get shot in the head. That's what happens. And like the problem with that is they don't realize that the government, the thing that they vote for and keep expanding, and it's ever love of power, and men who have, and women now who have longing for this power, whether they're foreign like Ilhan Omar, or fake native like Elizabeth Warren, or even if they're like a fucking, you know, a DeSantis or something. There's anybody who is trying to get power and do that uses every single incident as political. And anytime we go, hey, you know, let's not make this a political issue, it's just like, but it is a political issue, right? All of these things are politicized every day, all the time. And like, so when it comes to like, our politicians should be doing their jobs, we shouldn't really know their names. We should have to go, wait, who's the senator and what you call it again? They shouldn't be celebrities, and we shouldn't have this thing. And because politics has then become entertainment, is now affected. Like, these people don't watch TV anymore. They watch podcasts and listen to NPR, and like, the entertainment value in it, to me, is zero. But for them, it's become their entertainment. It's become their thing. So that's why, and I've said this before, this is why SNL sucks, is because their cold opens are about a bunch of politicians and reporters that we shouldn't know their names or care about, because none of those sketches will be funny, because in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years later, when you try and watch an SNL episode, you'll skip that cold open because it's never funny. Some of them will be like, oh, dude, you got to see this. It's amazing. That doesn't happen anymore. There, and it's where people say it's a culture war. It really is a cultural thing to celebrate the death of somebody you dislike, and only when you're reprimanded or shamed enough do you issue apologies or say things like, hey, we really need to come together. Now is not the time. They go, no. That's what that guy was saying that you shot, was saying we need to come together. You guys called him a fascist and a racist and a Nazi and a this. Yeah. So the demands from mainstream media, while not doing any of the things that they say, is exactly why this feels perpetual, why this feels like, oh, it's only going to get worse from here. And I seen it just from the perspective of like, fuck, man, his kids were there
and his wife was there too.
Yeah, and it's just like, was this a public display of they knew they were going to be there? Shit. I mean, of all the shows of all the events he's done, of all the things, and I'm just going to flat out say it right now. That kid didn't do it. I don't believe he did it. There's no fucking way. His grandma just came out and said he hates guns. He never owned a gun. He's never been hunting. He doesn't own any guns. And for the fact that the father turned him in. And Steve Bannon said it. The father only turned him in because he was afraid he was going to be an accessory. But I think this is just patsy shit anyways. I don't think that the fact that this fucking...
Did you see people posting his picture next to Lee Harvey Oswald? Like, dude, he even looks like him.
Yeah, the fact that they said this gun was like wrapped in a fucking towel in the woods, like he had time to... What are you, fucking Forrest Gump? And damn it, Gump, that's the fastest anybody ever put a gun together type shit. And then like ditched it, but had time to put the barrel on the towel and wrap it up. And get the fuck, none of it makes sense. And the other thing is, just getting right to it, Bibi Netanyahu was the first person. You can ask Grok, you can do a search on AI, the Google Gemini, the first person to tweet and post that Charlie Kirk had died was Bibi Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel. Before our president did, before TMZ did, before Fox News, before any American news outlet or prominent political American figure did, the prime minister of a foreign nation who has been accused of war crimes and meddling in our own everything was the first person to talk about it and how he's supposed to be here in 2 weeks and
you
he's
could
not
easily
do it anymore.
Yeah, you could easily be like, well, that he's just being diplomatic, except for the fact that like within 12 hours or something, they were already pushing out propaganda that like Charlie Kirk was taken out by radical Islam, and it's like it's as bad like the Rabbi Shmuley putting up a GoFundMe for himself after Charlie.
One thing at a time. That's one thing at a time. Go back to Bibi.
Like, they're just as bad. Like they're equally awful. Like they're equally awful. And it was just like it was like a shitty campaign thing where Netanyahu and the Israel like propaganda arm was putting out stuff like, listen, if what happened to Charlie Kirk was an atrocity, and if we don't go and blow up Qatar right now, it's who you're going to be the next Charlie Kirk. And it's like, wait, what?
And what people are saying this is ridiculous. About? This is ridiculous.
Well, and it pointed out something that you and I were joking about earlier. It's kind of funny that like Netanyahu has this way of talking about anti-Semitism where it's infuriating because he'll go, you got to do it because you do the voice.
First he literally said
he'll basically sandwich something that Israel actually does in between two magical impossible things.
Yeah,
and they're all
but not even Israel. He brought in like ancient accusations of Jews. Before 1948 Israel. He literally said, literally on American television.
Yes.
While this guy's body's not even in the ground yet, it just goes, this is this is the same thing that's happened. They're somehow saying that Israel is behind this. This is crazy. And it reminds me of medieval times when they accused Jews of poisoning the well and drinking the blood of Christian children. And you're like, huh? What if that was my first time hearing that about Jews? And you go, you guys did what now?
What did you guys do?
You go back. Was that everybody's well? What are we talking? Poison the well?
Yeah, when we were talking about this earlier, I was like, he literally goes on and he'll be like, there are all the things that the anti-Semites say about Jews. They say we fly around on dragons, we run all the banks, and that we invented unicorns. And you're like, wait a minute, Pope, what was that second one, though? And he's like,
unicorns. You're talking about the unicorns? Yes, it is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. In fact, I will bring this up to you. They say some ridiculous things about Jews, like how we drink the blood of children, how we control the American politics and their entertainment, or how we shapeshift into other beings. These are all ridiculous claims that have been.
Not that ridiculous, though.
What was the middle one?
The
shapeshift. This I know it is almost crazy as when they said that we breathe fire and rode dragons.
Yeah.
And like, huh? No. You said something about American. What was that? American politics. Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Also crazy fanatical mysticism.
Now, this is the problem. And then he literally went into. This is the problem with the Islamification of the world. And you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Now, I know.
Last I checked, CNN.
I know some Muslim. Some Muslim savagery out there, right? This doesn't. They use. Let's be honest. Bombs are their thing. Bombs are their thing. It's always been their thing because no hella is walking in there with a rifle for.
Also,
anyway.
when was the last time a Muslim killed only one person? Like, they don't do single serving. It's family style. They are the Buca de Beppo of the terrorist world.
They're Booma de Beppo.
Booma de Beppo. Yeah. It's all family style murder for the Islamists.
But to think that asking this question is ridiculous when he turned heel on Israel. Charlie turned heel on Israel essentially since July, and they've been putting out articles. There's an anti-Semite problem in Turning Point. There's this. Charlie Kirk is spewing this, and then he went on Ben Shapiro and was like, "Hey Ben, I'm just asking questions here, Ben. So don't like he was gonna upset the fucking Sultan of the Goblins," and I think at this point, everybody knows Ben Shapiro's Mossad, right? At this point, it's like everybody has to know Jen Psaki is CIA. Just like Tucker Carlson, I don't care how much people like Leonardo, like, Tucker's one of us. I love him. And like, yeah, his dad was CIA. As much as he tries to pretend he's not, I'm one of you guys.
This is what drives me nuts about the Groyper group, and I will put Leonardo in this thing, is like, they did this with Charlie too. It's like they fucking bastardize and shit all over Charlie Kirk forever, and they call him a cuck for Israel. And then the minute he asks one question questioning Israel, they're like, he's one of us. And you're like, stop with the fucking Jew. Like, yes, call it out when it's necessary to call out. But
this might be legit though.
I get that. I'm saying but stop making that like the code to the speakeasy, like where it's like, hey, what are you trying to come in here, faggot? And they go, I'm sorry, the Jews, and they go, welcome in. Why didn't you say so? Like,
password. I believe it's Goyim. Yes, Goyslop, actually.
Yeah.
And but Fuentes actually handled it well with like class and
just like the fucking Isn't it bad taste? Isn't it bad taste to put that stuff at your wedding? Ironically, because I think it would be hilarious to. I someday hope that I get to go to Nick Fuentes' wedding and he's doing that ironically, with the with the chairs and the that would be Nick. If you ever see this, somebody send the clip this and send this to Nick. You got to do that at your wedding, dog. You got to do that at your wedding. You got to do the Jewish. That will be great.
I also think that like I said, I think Fuentes actually handled that with like integrity and grace. Beautifully. The fact that he was like, I'm not doing a show tonight, all that. I really wonder though, because I don't know if you've seen, they are trying to blame the Groypers for this.
I just saw that in between podcasts where I saw a thing.
Yeah, so Matt Walsh had to come up and he goes,
Matt Walsh was like, they're trying to put this on. They're trying to lay this on.
Can he just leave the Daily Wire already?
Yeah.
The second Matt Walsh leaves the Daily Wire, he'll be next on their fucking list. All the Blue Sky people are already like, do Matt Walsh and Joe Rogan next, please. Like on some psycho shit.
Yeah.
They really feel like they cannot express their intellectual views across in any way, so they resort to violence. And they're supposed to be the ones that are educated. You just don't know. You fucking bigot. You fucking uneducated bigot. Mm-hmm. If you're so educated, why can't you use your words? Also, why do words bother you? And they're the words are violence people. And that's the problem when you tell kids that words are violence. There's a reason Chappelle, while making fun of trannies, named his special Sticks and Stones. It's an expression that these fucking dumb kids don't even hear anymore because their parents are secular retards that have nothing to do. They're soulless and they go, everybody's a good person. It's the system that's wrong. It's capitalism that's bad. We got to change capitalism. And one day, capitalism is a system that occurred way after the death of Jesus. So that system was not in place when greed was told by God that saying, hey, this is a sin and it ruins people. Mm-hmm. You didn't need capitalism to know that humans have greed, right? And this idea that, well, we'll just change the systems. It's like, dude, the man in the mirror is 100% always going to change. And that, I mean, that you and I talk about this, like, yeah, we're fat pieces of shit and we could easily not be fat pieces of shit by, eating less, working out more, doing. And we know that.
This is what I've been told. This is our concern.
Yeah, this is what we've been told. But that's the man in mirror stuff. If I didn't want to be fat anymore, it's my choice to up and do that. I'm not going to sit there and go, can you believe they're making pizzas cheaper? That's bullshit. It should be $1,000. I shouldn't have access to pizza like that.
Hold on. Who's doing that? Who's making them cheaper?
I don't know. Somebody mad they're fat is probably complaining about it.
I'll tell you what, if fucking inflation made pizza $1,000, I would just be in the streets like Frank Castle, just Punisher vest, 2 AR, just fucking, I would have no reason to live. If I had to spend $1,000 on a pizza, I would steal them every day.
Wow. Well, why wouldn't you just go, I'm not eating pizza anymore, or I'll make my own pizza?
No, but what if the ingredients is still, what if they gatekeep the ingredients? I can't just go get pizza materials.
You got to get in somehow you got to get in the pizza business at that point.
Yeah. I'm going to be in the black market pizza business. I'm going to steal them shits and I'll sell them in the streets for less. A numero uno Josh Denny fan said, Carl, don't act like it's not your people controlling the pizza market.
This is true. This is true.
You think it's a Jewish nose, it's a Roman nose.
It's a Romans 13:4 nose.
Yeah.
It's a righteous nose with a sword tip.
Yeah, it's very, very Guide-esque.
I would say that
it's very Snidely Whiplash of you.
Oh, dude, did I tell you I went to the Basilica? The National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception?
Yeah.
Did I tell you
that? Yes.
Dude, that fucking place is magnificent.
Yeah.
That is the closest thing we have to like a Rome church here. Man, it was huge. There's a crypt church underneath, and then there's all these like dedications and stuff that families and fraternal societies and even state governments have donated, or city governments and stuff, and local politicians had donated and led dedications in there. So one fraternal order paid for, and it'll just say like in loving memory of somebody. And I came across a Babe Ruth's thing underneath. That's fucking cool. I was like, man, who else is in there? When I was at Arlington, I saw that they had the JFK grave. I didn't know. Did you know that I'm gonna blow your mind real quick. Did you know that JFK and Jackie O had 2 infant children that died?
Yes.
They're buried right next to them.
I did not know that, but I did know that they had 2 infant children that died.
Yeah. And they have, so Jackie paid this money to have this eternal flame there. So at the gravesite, it's the 4 names, and then there's just an eternal flame that doesn't stop. It's always on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was fucking cool. And then I look at this, and there's like a little like waterfall fountain thing with words written on there. I go, man, who the fuck is buried over here? This is nice. By himself. What is this? And it's RFK next to the thing. I go, oh man. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's how it is you like just stumble upon just like, wow. Something else they said in there is that there's only 75,000 plots left or something like that. So like if another war broke out, like World War III, and 60,000 troops were dead, 70,000 troops are dead, I'm like, we're going to need a new Arlington. Yeah. They're going to have to, because there's no more space.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, man, why don't we just stop having wars and killing Americans?
Yeah,
then we won't fucking fill up fucking football fields worth of soldiers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real testament, right?
Like, what the fuck?
When they first opened that up, they're like, this has got to be more than enough space for the rest of eternity, right?
Yeah.
And they're just like, guys, we filled it up in 2 decades. What do we do?
And I asked him if there was any Jews buried there.
Like famous Jew, what did he say?
Well, just in general, because the Jews out here don't, that even Forest Lawn over shit over here, they have their own sections, like it's called Mount Zion or something.
Oh, okay.
And they won't be buried next to the Gentiles. They paid more money, and theirs is you go up the hill up here, right at Forest Lawn. It's fucking
wow. Even
Warner Brothers.
Even in death, they have their own better separate real estate.
Dude, I remember when David Cross was funny. He had a joke about segregated graveyards in the South. It was like that. He was like, that's some sort of truer, deeper racism, right?
Yeah.
Where you really take that shit to the grave. Where he's just like, hold on a second, Jack. Hold on 1 second, man. You mean to tell me that my dead, lifeless, rotting corpse is going to be laying here next to some black man's? Ooh, that's gross. It's like, wait, the Jews have segregated graveyards?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Right?
That's fucking funny, dude. That they're just like, no, we're all one. We're all the same. What do you mean? Also, don't let my body's aroma even be near these goy.
Yeah.
No, we're all the same. Yes, up the hill. That's right.
Yeah. Yes, we're just the same as everybody is one people. But
I want to remind you that these people, the Islamists, they want to say things that even ancient Christians said about us. They want to poison the well. They want to drink the blood of Christian children. They want to control. They want to control American politics through AIPAC. They say a lot of things that is just nonsense, right? Yeah. They say things like Mossad planted a patsy there who also happened to see the World Trade Center towers fall and said it was Al Qaeda immediately. which some people say is ridiculous. How can you? Nobody knew what Al Qaeda was when the towers fell, but this guy did, and we believe him. I don't know why they think that that's ridiculous. This is a patriot. His name is George Zinn. He's definitely not Mossad, and he's definitely not the propagandist who lives in your country who works for us. That is, he's not definitely, he's not that. That's insane. That would be insane.
Nuts. Pretty nuts. So yeah, a very wild week. We're 36 minutes away from the biggest problem in the universe tonight, which will be. You and I were joking that like we should order a pizza and watch that because Vito decided.
Is it the last one?
I mean, it might be. Vito decided it would be really funny this week to just shit on Charlie Kirk. Minutes after he died.
What did he say? I didn't even because he's so disgusting. Sometimes I don't even. I have him muted. I think
it's not even funny. And he does this thing that I don't like. That it's like he'll make something that's like a half-assed attempt at a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll be like, "What? I'm just acknowledging what the tent says."
The tent?
Yeah, because it was like, I mean, Jesus, he's got.
I don't even want to know, dude. Honestly,
I gotta scroll because this guy spends more time on Twitter than all of us combined.
I just don't get it. What is the appeal to it? Like, I understand, like, some of like people making a dude. Really, that's fucked up. But like, dude, I'm sorry. I know. Like, if I heard somebody's say they go, man, this really gives a shot in the arm to any movement that was really happening. Like, people really picking up. I go, you mean a shot in the neck? Right. That's why I've seen that. I get those little jokes, and people. Sure. It's kind of distasteful, but that seems like. And it's in replies to people. I see those things. But the one, like, even Ari said he regretted making fun of the Kobe thing. Because remember, Ari's was like, Kobe Bryant. And he's like, dude, there's the helicopter's still smoking. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I just, what I remember the most from Ari's thing is
how he said it.
How Jewish he sounded saying it.
He was like, guys, Kobe Bryant. And you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing that Vito does is he'll do like 2 or 3 that are in like really bad taste. And then he'll post some fucking shit where it looks like he's trying to be on conservative side. It's like, it's such a fucking intellectually dishonest back and forth to be like, you guys don't know what I think. And it's like, well, yeah, but we know you're a faggot. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not gonna lie. This comment is hilarious.
Hold on, which one? I'll pull it up.
It's times like this
where everyone should be asking themselves, what would Gilbert Gottfried do?
I'll tell you what he's doing. He's worried about segregated graveyards too. Don't put that faggot next to me.
Of
course, I don't know who that faggot would be. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's not you talking. That's Gilbert. That's what Gilbert was known for, his homophobia, rampant hatred of gays, very well known.
Also,
be honest, I think Vito deleted his original Charlie Kirk tweets. He did,
because Daddy Dick yelled at him.
I don't know if it's that, but it's like I just remember reading it and being like, these aren't jokes. This literally just looks like you're trying to torpedo your goddamn Patreon. I don't know what you're doing. Like,
what is wrong with them?
I don't know, man. I you know what I think it is? I don't think he knows how to exist without the internet hating him. And he
is that like a
pro wrestling kayfabe thing where he's like, yes, give me your hate. And we're like, yeah, but you can't take it because you have to hire your friends to do security at your properties. So
turning heel.
Yes.
And you're like, dude, what are you doing?
It's like
all you have to do is be the liberal half of that show.
Yes.
And collect a check every month.
Yes.
Every week. You know?
And he just like, he's got to turn heel. And then he's like, listen, I'm just trying to do a comedy show. I'm like, no, you're not. You just called everybody on the other side of the political aisle faggots and said they all deserve to die a fiery death. You were trying to be an edgelord. And then people were like, we hate your guts. We're going to unsubscribe from your podcast. We're going to come to your house and you're going to kill you. And he's like, guys, I just want to do a comedy show.
Wait a minute. This is Vito or you?
No, this is Vito. This is Vito. What do you mean me?
I don't know. You said edgelord telling the other side that they should fucking die in a fiery death, and that
no, I've never pulled that back on what I think of the left. I've never
no, I'm not saying pull it back. I just meant the same, not to use this fucking overused faggot word, but rhetoric.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, yeah,
they might show up at your door and they might do some things that go too far, as trolls and losers do.
Yeah. The difference is though, is if somebody were to show up on my doorstep, they'd get murdered. Whereas with Vito, he's like, guys, you never know what could happen. And then they show up on his doorstep and he's like, I'm gonna call the police. And I'm like, and it's like, yeah, if you want to know what it'd be like if you show up at my doorstep, watch the last 10 minutes of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Is everybody okay in there? Well, the fucking hippies aren't, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I thought it'd be like you laying in a pool and they're like, is everybody all right?
Yeah, with no, I had this flamethrower from the 14 Fists of McCluskey. And
the flamethrower.
And he goes, I fucking barbecued that one. He goes, with the flamethrower? He goes, yeah. And he's like, from the 14 Fists of McCluskey? Yeah, same one. Same one. Goes, oh, is everyone okay over there? Well, the fucking hippies aren't, I'll tell you that for goddamn sure. That's my favorite part of that
Brad
movie.
Pitt line ever?
No, my favorite part of that movie is Leo at the end of the movie telling Emil Hirsch like what happened, you know? And then getting
invited. He was in the car, right? No, wasn't he outside in the car or something when that happened?
No,
and then ran in?
No, he's behind the gate of the Sharon Tate house. They never go up to Sharon Tate's in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's just behind the gate, and Brad Pitt goes away in the ambulance, and the cops leave, and Leo's just there in the cul-de-sac. And Emil Hirsch goes, "Man, what the fuck is going on over there?" And then Leo just starts telling him, oh man, these hippies, they, fucking came in. One came through the door and
it was a fucking shit show.
Yeah. That's the funniest part of that whole movie.
I was sort of indifferent on that movie. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I just thought a lot of it was cool, but like, it just felt like, okay, for my sake as a movie fan, I just hope that Tarantino is over his like sci-fi revisionist history movies, and now he wants to do like a Reservoir Dogs again or a Pulp Fiction.
His Jewish revenge fantasy movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people. He even said, I think it was on Rogan's pod or maybe Segura's, but he said it's very possible he would do a Reservoir Dogs sequel. And then the other thing he floated was that he would do another Kill Bill would be maybe his final movie.
Yeah, so, I'm not into that.
I didn't like Kill Bill. I was not a Kill Bill fan at all.
You know, I didn't like Kill Bill because I don't like anime.
Yeah, I guess.
And Kill Bill is a live action anime movie.
Okay.
And it's really like it even does that. It's like shing, and then it does a close up, and then it does that, and it's like you, and then. I remember like Jizza. I remember the RZA making or is it Jizza? One of them. Jizza.
His name is Jizza.
Yeah, his name's Jizza.
And also, I think
there's RZA.
No, it's RZA and the Gizza. I don't think it's Jizza.
No, it's Jizza.
I don't think it's Jizza, dude.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think so. First of all,
I've known the RZA, the Jizza. Wu-Tang Clan strikes again. Oh God, Ghostface Killer and the METHOD, man. METHOD, man. Hey, yo, get off my.
Okay. So the jizz. Okay, I guess it's Jizza. I learned.
The RZA and the Jizza
today.
But so RZA making the music, I remember him doing.
I was always
they talked
Raekwon the chef.
Raekwon the chef. Hey, but RZA was talking about how he loved how they think that Dragon Ball Z is like the equivalent to like the black struggle in America, and how anime is this and that. So like he's such like an anime fan and shit that like the music for Kill Bill even is like how some anime are, and like the sound that siren fucking thing that goes off that he does is a sample from an old samurai flick too, or some shit.
Oh yeah. They're obsessed with that shit.
And so I mean, Kill Bill for me, I didn't need a 2. Right?
Yeah.
I was good. And to the fact that he's like, I might do a Kill Bill 3. I'm like, why, dude? I still want to know what's in the briefcase.
Yeah,
like, dude, if you're gonna do a sequel, do that. Yeah, like maybe somebody else gets their hands on it, or it's just been in storage for a while.
What do you think was in the briefcase?
I don't really know, to be honest with you.
Because a lot of people think it's what's his name's soul.
Yeah, but a lot of
of
things that there's like it's not even the soul. Like imagine you got like a free pass or like some like magic do-over card, or like a fucking, whatever the fuck that is. I don't know whatever it is. But I've heard all these theories. Like
what I think's in there?
Marcellus Wiley's finger, or whatever his name is.
I think it's one of them nigga passes.
Oh yeah, you get to just say it.
Say it whenever you want. Yeah. I think it's Quentin Tarantino's nigga pass is in that briefcase.
But yeah, man. And if you look at 1950s through 70s Asian movies, yeah, what do you think animes are based? They're the animated version of that.
Yeah.
Japanese people don't have such a wide range of things. Kill Bill is not based on Kurosawa. They don't have a
wide range of vision. I'll tell you that.
Kill Bill is not based on Kurosawa movies and shit. Like stylistically, it is shot literally like an anime, and how they and do these like close up frames and still shots, and then zoom out and do a tight shot and then zoom, and like all of that is like, look at the storyboarding of an anime and how it's very comic booky when they do that. That's why they're so whatever. It's just my thing about it. If like I had to rank them, I loved Inglorious Bastards on a movie That's level.
Great. Yeah.
But if you start going, well, this is kind of bullshit anyways. Like, I mean, honestly, Schindler's List is way more of a fictitious story than that, right?
Right.
They're on the same level.
Yeah, it's like, funny. I just rewatched Inglourious Bastards. I always forget how it ends. I forgot that he basically turns traitor. Christoph Waltz character basically like sells everybody out at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but then they carve it in him, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Now you're probably gonna
I can't let you do that.
You're probably gonna take all this Nazi garb off, ain't you?
You're gonna take that Nazi uniform off. You're gonna take that Nazi hat off, and then you're gonna have kids and probably pretend that you wasn't a Nazi.
And that don't sit right with us.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the most part, what he did, you think Tarantino looks at it, he's like, well, I've tackled slavery and I've tackled the Holocaust and I've tackled, right? And do you think he's just like, my next one is, what's next? I can't even think of this. Trannies? Is he going to be like,
yeah, that would actually that'd be cool. That'd be cool. You could do something transed up.
It's like what period? So if Tarantino should do a movie, do you think that it would be cool if he did like a fucking Gladiator Rome era thing, like an epic, like a Ridley Scott, type type deal? Do you think it'd be? He seems to do period things.
Yeah, here's the thing. I guess I would like to see him do. Just because it would be a departure. Like I know he's in love with Los Angeles and is very much like a West Coast guy, but I would love for him to do something New York.
Yeah.
It's like do
where it's grittier,
on the ground New York film, and it could be anything, right? Like it could be it could be something like a story like Dragged Across Concrete, which was very sort of Reservoir Dogs-esque, where it's like you just jump in the middle.
Is that Gibson? Mel Gibson?
Yeah, Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, any one of those type things, a gritty crime story. What the fuck, man? My dog. Just climbing through the wires that are under my desk like a retard.
Yeah.
But any one of those like periods would be fucking cool to see, right? Because he's gonna put like overt grotesque violence in it no matter what. So I think about like, what's the most barbaric thing? Medieval times Tarantino,
well, be
where
cool
dudes are on horses and getting spears thrown through their chest and shit, or like,
yeah, if he could do a Genghis Khan movie, that would be cool.
But what if he did like something like The King, or some sort of like Providence thing, or a fucking
do a crusade movie? That'd be kind of tight. Tarantino crusade film.
I don't know what his stance would be on it. Would he do it revisionist, or would he do like a
just like you?
What if he didn't spread Christianity?
Yeah, he's just down
what
there.
If the Muslims won?
Yeah, it's like that would be that's an interesting take. What if the Muslims won the Crusades? Because the Moors, they did so much fucking.
Yeah, man. I fucking love the Moors, man. Okay, the Moors. Like, when you think about it, were they black Vikings? I mean, how fucking cool is that, man? So those are in the movie.
Black Vikings, hilarious. What if for his final movie he just does some absurd like Monty Python level comedy?
Comedy would be a dark comedy would be fun for him.
The tough thing, I know at one point he was talking about wanting to do a Vega Brothers movie because Vincent and I can't remember the other character's name, but now that Michael Madsen died, that's out.
Oh man,
he
were
wanted.
They brothers?
Yeah, I mean, he's basically like that's the lore is that Michael Madsen's character was brothers with John Travolta's character from Pulp Fiction.
Not cousins, brothers, huh?
Well, they were related. I don't know if he said brothers specifically.
Because don't you think that was some shit that would come up in Pulp Fiction? Like, my brother's kind of a nut.
Yeah, Vincent Vega and Vic Vega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother's kind of a nut job. Really, nigga? Said the motherfucker again.
Yeah, he said there was a story planned as a prequel film called Double V Vega, which was scrapped due to the actors' ages. But that would have been cool. That would have been cool to have the two of them in a film together.
In the end of Pulp Fiction, you could say that, but you can't do it anymore anyways, right? Bruce Willis is like done. Like not making pictures anymore type shit. It'd be impossible to do a Pulp Fiction one. Unless the whole story just follows fucking Ving Rhames.
That would be. Well, he does have the meats.
Living his life after the rape scene. sort of an angle.
That actually would be a hilarious comedy.
Niggas got to go back to the scene and be like, man, hey, Marcellus. Now you walking a little juicy.
Yeah, here comes our favorite character again.
Well, what did I tell you a solution is to a lot of things going on here? Whether it's illegal detentions that we have, or the worst of the worst. Instead of the alligator Alcatraz, we build these facilities where they're all one room cells, one bed cells.
Facilities.
facility, and you're only allowed one visitor. They're basically all solitary confinement cells, and then you're allowed a visitor a day, and that visitor is Felice Johnson, just all the time. And you have no, like, it might be punishment that day, it might not. Maybe he wants to just play cards with you. But at the end of the day, he might go, turn around, boy, you little juicy. Like, what are you going to do?
Well, you're probably going to get fucked.
Well, I mean, I think that's the point of the facility.
Yeah, that's what a facility is for, is for you to get
You're going to walk in there and tell you that, hey.
Yeah.
I heard you farting down the hall.
And I said, thank you.
I said, thank you. That sounds juicy. Open it up.
Yeah, that's your fascination with that man is both interesting and horrifying to me.
Oh man.
So, well, I guess we should. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. We were talking about eating 4 hours ago, and
I am hungry.
So,
what do you think that we should like end on? Some conspiracy, because we didn't even talk about the plane.
I definitely don't want to finish on the guy. Like that's always a problem for me.
Hey, yo. No, but like in the thing, like again, like we'll just to wrap everything up. I'm not convinced that this kid is some lone gunman. I think
it just seems like most of the internet agrees with you at this point.
Yeah, but the lone gunman theory is something that worked when there was the newspaper.
When there was no
era.
internet. When there was no internet.
The fact that, I mean, the private plane that had one flight this year took off from Provo, 20 minutes into the air, its flight tracker goes off radar, then it lands, and the airport is literally like walking distance from the school. Then there's the fact that, people have said they've seen hand signals from people sitting behind Charlie. They said they've caught multiple things. That again, that guy George Zinn going, shoot me, it's me, is the same guy who said, I knew it was Al Qaeda as soon as the towers dropped. That guy is 100% Mossad. I don't give a fuck what you say. Put me against a polygraph and that guy in a room, right? Like, ain't no fucking way that guy ain't Mossad. Mm-hmm. There's 200 yards. I mean, people go that's a fucking professional shot. To be honest with you, it's not. 200 yards is not even a full fucking football field. I can, 100 yards is in the middle of the football field. You know what I'm saying? 200, I do that in Call of Duty, practicing. If I'm like a kid, that's how it is. If he's never shot a gun before. He could do it in Call of Duty on a scope and be like, oh, it's this far away? That same shit. Right? And then people will be like, oh, it's nothing like a video game. It is, but I don't think it's that.
I was trying to think. I was like, what was the distance I was shooting at when I was, because when we were kids, we'd go to the beach and we would take 22s and we would shoot, like
100 yards maybe.
Yeah, no, it was probably $150 because we were basically shooting from one side of the beach to the other. So yeah, we're probably talking 150 yards. And that's with a 22 with a scope.
Hey, Brady. I played professional football. The inside of a football field from end zone to end zone is 100 yards. The back of the end zone is 10 yards. The other back of the end zone is another 10 yards. So actually, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's 120 yards. I was saying it's not even a couple of football fields long. Sorry, I misspoke. But don't be a cunt.
Oh, no. There's a lot of cunts in the chat if you haven't noticed. Probably good that you don't, because you get very distracted when you notice.
Yeah, I'm not going to go back to those. I will say this though, like they'll be like, there's no way this was professional. I go, why? And they're like, a professional would shoot him in the head. I go, or is made to look like an amateur. Right? It makes me think of, he's like, hey, I want you to throw me an interception. John, I was 13 in All State. I can put the ball wherever I want it, make it rain out here. It's like the same thing. He's like, I just shot him. I shoot him in the tooth. Where you want it? And people are like, yeah, we see him run it. Dude, a school? You know how much surveillance on a fucking school and they have those cameras and shit?
There's a bunch of conspiracy Carl markers like that haven't been answered, and this is the problem, is like, okay, what about the hand signals from the guys standing right next to Charlie right before it happens? What about the fact that there's no emergency medical services on site? I mean, you know, I was talking to my friend from the UK earlier, and she goes to hundreds of concerts a year, maybe. And I'm like, when's the last time you've been to an outdoor concert and there's not a fucking ambulance right next to the stage? Never.
Perfect example. 100,000, whatever it was, 80,000 people. We went to the Rose Bowl. I saw Oasis. There was literally like 8 EMT paramedic fucking fire rescue trucks here, and then there was like 8 more on this side. And like, and yeah, dude, they're fucking ready.
Generally, in those big concert venues, not only do they have a bunch of IVs, but they have a bunch of water and IVs and bags. They have blood. They have a lot of blood on site for those things, because like, you got to think, bro, like you could trip and fucking, you know, an artist could trip and catch something metal on stage and cut an artery or something, and they got to be prepped for that kind of shit.
Yeah, so or a fight breaks out, somebody gets stabbed, same type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, I guess my point is like, you know, if you're just planning for accidents that could arise, you would be better prepared than they seem for that situation. So there's just way too many. There are way too many unanswered things, you know, that are not. Were not prevalent at any of these other sort of situations that we've had. There weren't even this many crazy things at Butler when they tried to kill the president.
Yeah. So the first thing is Bibi Netanyahu first doing that. That's the red flag for me. Immediately before the president, before anybody, he was like, Charlie Kirk is dead. I invited him to Israel 2 weeks from now. That trip's not happening anymore. Like, what the fuck, you psycho? Like. Right? That plus what he said on TV, that was crazy. The plane taking off from Provo, the hand signals, the fact that the George Zinn fucking distraction, shoot me, the guy on the people's shoulders like smiling and cheering like that wasn't a distraction.
Yeah.
And because people look in a big crowd, he's going like this. What are they pointing at people? What's going on? Everybody's looking around. They go, it's from up there. It's from, you know, because they do that. Everybody's like, where the fuck did he get shot from? The assembling the gun, disassembling it so he can run, so to be in a pack. But then he assembled it together and wrapped it in a towel and threw it in the woods, and it was perfectly like taped right, and so it wasn't. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, and who's on that fucking plane that they can get out 20 minutes, go offline? What'd they parachute out of it, drop to some other thing, and take off like they're not working for a secret intelligence agency whose slogan has the word deception and world war in it? Like, I remember when Mossad got on there, he was like, we are the world's biggest production company. We write this script and you act in it. And you're like, holy shit, they really think this way. And I can't let that just be like, my brain is not going, well, it has to be Mossad for a reason. No, it's Mossad because it looks like Mossad. It looks fucking nuts. And the last thing about it is now you can say, well, Israel did 9/11. Yeah, they did 9/10 too.
Yeah, the official motto is, by way of deception, thou shalt do war.
I'm sorry, what? Yeah. One more time for the people in the back.
Yeah, make war through deception.
Make war through deception.
Or by wise counsel thou shalt wage war. That's from Proverbs.
Why in the mother fuck would they? Why would they stand to benefit from us being at war? Oh, I don't know, because they're losing a PR war over there. They need us to be divided. They need us to go to war. And the other tactic is this helps people hate Israel. And why does Israel want to be hated? So they can fulfill their self-fulfilling prophecy that the world must hate Israel for God to come and save us, because we are the chosen people. And eventually the whole entire world will come to hate us, and only God will save us. It's nonsense, Zio bullshit.
You bring up an interesting point, because when you talk about that, and then you think, well, what is the prevailing leftist programming? It's perpetual victimhood.
Mm-hmm.
So where else would that come from but a people that believe that they must be sacrificed or hated for the return of the Messiah?
Yeah, but I'll say this too. The right is so guilty of that same fucking thing to like, yeah, man, it's the fucking left fucking up the country and stuff. It's like nothing about y'all is self-sufficient. All your companies either run on illegal immigration or subsidies, right? I don't care if you're Walmart or even Elon. Like, if everything is supposed to be, you know, do for self and then we can employ others and do all those things, and you're trying to eliminate the welfare state while you can play it, y'all love the government doing that just so you have a crutch to believe in that, we're the good guys. And leftists do the same thing. They think the government should be the boot that crushes their opponents. Whereas and that's what we're getting to this point, is like each fucking side is just ever expanding the powers of the federal government.
Right.
And when Mossad and AIPAC and all the Israel have infiltrated not only the CIA and the FBI, and everything is centered around like, this is divisive and that's divisive. Like, you just have to stop, say, who stands to benefit from this? Who stands to benefit from us not being together? Who stands to benefit from us not and Charlie Kirk, whether you think he's got little teeth and he's a fucking, that's just surface level of bullshit. You don't like the way he talks. You don't like what he's talking about, but never once did he call for violence against people. Never once did he and I didn't watch his content because I don't need to watch shit for college kids. I'm not that. If I'll watch South Park or wherever that fucking demo, but I'm not watching stuff that is specifically geared for college kids. Turning Point USA and all the young influencers he's had, that's what they do. They're trying to win the hearts and minds of the youth and challenge people with ideas. If you have a good idea, a better idea than what I'm saying, come to the mic and tell me. If you disagree, come to the mic. He's always said that. If you disagree, come to the mic. Mm-hmm. The problem, and I'll tell you why why it's so enraging and why they think it's so divisive and stuff, is because the problem is this: they no longer have shame in our culture in America. From sex to Lizzo's fat ass to the WNBA's ungrateful fucking cunts, nobody has shame. And with shame comes embarrassment. And Charlie and his videos that go viral are nothing but shame and embarrassment for these liberals that are far left, even past the liberal, far left fake progressives and communists and Marxists that get on the mic. They think they have a gotcha. Fuck you, you're a fucking racist. And he goes, well, how am I racist? Let me explain. And all those videos that go viral, what happens? Who's sharing those videos? A bunch of people on the right and in the middle go, look at this fucking idiot. They actually believe this shit. This is what's going on in college. And they get embarrassed. Mm-hmm. And embarrassment, they don't know how to deal with. Mm-hmm. Gen Z, Gen Alpha doesn't know how to deal with embarrassment. They don't know how to deal with shame because we took it out of music, away from celebrities. We're not allowed to shame this fat bitch with 3 titties and an asshole personality known as Lizzo. That bitch tried to say body positivity and fuck you and I'm fat. Fat is the new beautiful. Now she hates herself. Started working out, doing all that, fucking had lap band or Ozempic, because none of that was real.
Yeah.
They just want to take something off and they want the government to step in and do it. And my friends, that is called fascism. And it happened with COVID when they told a bunch of people who couldn't think for themselves anymore, don't go in there, don't go see your grandma. They died of broken hearts and being lonely and shit and devoid of human physical. You ever been to a fucking nursing home and it's so sad and depressing and you just smile and you go and you maybe talk to them for a couple or do some jokes or bring us some baked goods, all that. Their whole everything changes. Like they seen their grandson or something and there's a light in them that they gives them a purpose to come. That's what we took from those people and they died. And the argument that was like, well, they're an anti-vaxxer. Like, you should be. Aren't you a liberal hippie? When the fuck did you start advocating for the conglomerate capitalists you hate, like big pharma? Like, we should all be against and say like, there's no fucking link between vaccines and autism. Then how come all you retards have autism now? And that didn't start till the late 80s. Like they go, well, causation isn't correlation. The fuck it ain't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a scientific study to know people are dropping like flies and celebrities look super aged and turbo cancers happen from 2020 on. I don't have to have a study to know that people in Canada are dying for no reason. You don't need a long-term study to know the effects of bringing in 36% of your immigrant population in 1 year. Canada, they got a 36% increase. All of their foreign immigration, 36% of it came within the last year. That's not sustainable for any country. Any country. I don't care if you're a fucking socialist country or the most capitalist. The ideals that they have are nonsensical because they're not shamed. Nobody tells them to. Nobody cares. Work harder. Stop being a faggot and crying to the government. Do shit for yourself. Start your own business. Can you believe they're doing? Then do something about it. This is America. And the only thing I can say is that you ever seen The Departed? Where remember The Departed, where the fucking French and Leo go collect the money, right? And from the guy, and he hits him out, right? And he goes, he goes, come on. He's like, yeah, I don't got it, man. He's like, why don't you got it? And he goes, it's been tight. And he goes, so make more money. This is America. You don't make money, you're a fucking douchebag. And like that's it. Like, what are you complaining to them about? Like, I got in this thing earlier. This black dude was like the other comic. Jarrell Parker was writing on my feed about how well, black people just were denied home loans and stuff. So do like the Jews, pool your money together in your community and be your own bank.
Yeah.
When you beg the government for loans, then who cares? Then
Can we talk about how funny the idea of a black-owned bank in a black community is? They just keep robbing each other, and it's like a rotating door of like robbing each other and starting their own bank, and then robbing that bank, and then starting their own bank, and then robbing that bank.
I just think that yes, like whether you think it's a faggoty message or whatever, of all of us come together, it's something that has to happen.
Hey man, we finally did it. Hand it over, nigga. It's like, hand it over. Wait, what?
Give me the money, nigga. Like, this is your money.
Your bank. You're a partner.
This is your grandma's bank. It's like,
yeah, no, but that's my friend is the minority vote.
So, with all that being said, even the haters, I know you're fucking watching. You guys gotta understand that going out and doing comedy and all this shit, all that, whoever the fuck you hate, because they whatever, nobody is gonna be the same after this. This is like, pun intended, turning point of when like since 9/11 and goofy shit like that, we had to take our shoes off because they told us some guy tried to light his shoe on fire. So now everybody had to take their shoes off. There's fucking Molignons on the bus lighting their shoe on fire every day. You don't have to take your shoe off on a bus. Why did they do it with planes? It was all about control methods. And now they are telling you, they got to a point where it's like, hey, this guy was having a lot of influence with young people. And whether it's Mossad, whether it's our own CIA, who knows? But I know that fucking goofball didn't do it. And I know that this is forever going to change live performance, live public speaking. There's always going to be metal detectors and extra security and all this shit. For what? Just so y'all motherfuckers can just be like, good, he said something I don't like. He should die. What about you saying shit that we don't like? Y'all always say shit that we don't like. I just call it retarded.
This is
it's like,
well, this is the thing this is how you know like that side sucks and our side is winning is like,
yeah, but even the sides, like,
but just let me fucking finish.
I got you.
Jesus Christ. People go, well, let's go get their Charlie Kirk, and I go, yeah, it doesn't exist. That's how you know their side sucks. They don't even have one. They don't have one. They don't even have a Shapiro. They don't have one.
They had a Joe Rogan who was their hippie liberal whatever, and they called him a fascist and all this shit just because he talked to other people.
That's true.
And so they just move the goalposts over and over and over and over until you're like, hey dude, I still believe in the same things. How am I a far right extremist now?
Well, and that's what's so interesting, right? So like part of this is an interesting thing to unpack. Like we've done the research and we know that like 90% of our haters are liberals, leftists, So they could sit here all day and go, no, we just don't like you as people. But it's like, no, it's about politics. It's about politics, and it's about.
But you could challenge them on their politics, and they have no conviction. They have no belief.
No, correct. They have no conviction. But it's also why liberals spend time hanging out, heckling and shitting on people they don't like, because they don't have any engaging leader speakers. They have nothing to follow on their own end. They have no id. They have no fucking ideology or any leaders or any heroes. They have nothing. So what they do is they sit in hate, and they go, well, we don't have a Charlie Kirk, so we'll go into Charlie Kirk's chat and we'll just hate Charlie instead of find our own guy to get behind. And it's like, yeah, it's amazing to me that you don't understand how that is a major reflection of how your shitty worldview is shaped. Like, it means you have no hope in your life. It means you have no aspiration. Like, I would never spend a minute of my day consuming something I didn't like. Like, imagine that. Imagine, like, the idea of hate watching something. I don't get it. I don't get it, but it's because I'm not a fucking loser.
Yeah. The hate watching thing is, like I said, politics became these fucking losers' entertainment, right? So they're like, oh my God, you hear what AOC said today? No, and you shouldn't either. Like,
yeah.
Did that bitch make a bill that was no? Then shut the fuck up, bitch. I don't care. She shouldn't be talking.
You know when I'll know what she's had something to say is when those flapjacks get cut loose in the middle of a speech. Then I'll go, oh, like, I saw that.
Yeah, well, Gavin Newsom spends his time on fucking podcasts and going, yeah, we're going to punch him in the mouth. Hey, faggot, why don't you go handle 54 blocks of Skid Row right now since you're the governor, you cocksucking pig? Like, to think that nobody has to do, and nobody does their fucking job anymore. Not an NFL scout, not a White House aide. Everybody wants their job done for them. And then that's why they have these stances of like, well, if you get rid of the immigrants, who's going to do all the fucking agriculture? How about robots? Isn't that what you tech faggots want? Now we don't have to have slaves. We'll just have robots pick strawberries. What's the matter with that? Can't exploit it? Well, robots would be expensive. Well, then fucking wait to have a business. I don't know what to tell you. But like, your idea that you can exploit this, but not that. And I do that. Slaves make your phone. Slaves make your shoes. Oh, I got on Hokas. Do you? What are they, 3D printed by slaves? Like, shut the fuck up. None of you have the moral anything unless there's a God in your life that you fear, and that's love and compassion you live with, and period. And if you like, and that's the thing, is it's like, we didn't make any fucking Charlie jokes or any of that shit at the time. Like I said, I didn't really listen to his content stuff, but I've seen these videos, especially in the last couple of days, where I'm like, damn, dude, this is what they're mad about? This fucking guy? Yeah. Everything he does, like, if you disagree, we can talk. And like, I was just, and again, maybe it has to do with the fact that I just buried my own father, but the fact that this happened in front of his wife and kids, an event, to go like, oh, that's what he gets for saying words I don't like. He's a piece of shit because he said if his daughter got raped and she was pregnant, which is only a 1 in a billion fucking chance, that she would have to keep the baby. Yeah, because he doesn't believe in murder, but you do. So, like, how does that make him a fucking piece of dog shit because he wants to save a life? No, it makes you a piece of dog shit that you don't value life.
Well, yeah, and this, you know, the ideology is just.
That's why you faggots had to come up with Black Lives Matter.
I wasn't done talking. That's why the ideology is evident in the behavior. Like, it's why these people are all anonymous. It's because it makes their life easier. They don't have to be held accountable for anything they say. They don't have any convictions or principles to stand on. So they would look at somebody. Like, I saw somebody post something about Charlie Kirk the day he died, where they were like, it was a comment in reply to somebody's post. So one of my friends posted something really nice, and then somebody's comment was, yeah, but then why is he riling these people up? And I go, wait, like, I had to step away, because I was like, wait a minute, so now you're blaming this guy. Like, why did he have to say what he wanted to say at all? Because it upsets some people. Like, imagine living your life that way, where you're just like, oh, I'm not even gonna say anything because it might upset people.
Yeah, and for all the non-Christians listening, that's what we're called to do, anyways. It's going to be uncomfortable to tell you that you need salvation and that you need saving. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And if you were going to die right now, you would want to know what was going to happen to you and all that. And that's all you need to know. Is like he believed with his whole heart that, and he was willing to die for it. And I would say to these fucking, other than the psychos, dude, they don't even want to die for their fucking cause. That's why they get captured and caught. How many of these fucking faggot Antifa bitches were at shows and protesting this? We don't want them to say words. And they're wearing masks. And they're wearing fucking, because they're cowards. Because they're inherently cowards, because they believe in nothing. And they want to watch the world burn. That's why they love the Joker and all this shit. But they have no purpose. So everything sucks. They're like Stan from South Park. Everything sucks. Everything's shit. We're haters. We hate watch. We do that. Like, at some point, you'll have to go, what is my purpose here? And maybe I'm a big fucking loud, fucking strong personality because I'm called to do something greater than that. I'm big as fuck so I can protect the ones that I love and be a force in this world. And if my true purpose and calling is like, whatever, if I'm going to keep speaking my mind and all that, I'm not going to not say what's in my heart and what is supposed to change the hearts and minds of others. And in doing so, and I say this on a podcast, but we're like, it sounds like we're taking ourselves too serious, but I mean, it's a really somber week and really thinking about all these things. I'll go right back to writing jokes and performing on stage and all that. But afterwards on that's all levity and escapism and stuff like that. At the end of the day, I'm still a person who has to live my life and do that. If I meet you and you're a piece of shit hater online to me, all that, I'll still greet you with kindness. And even though Josh will disagree with this and say that I shouldn't do this,
you did it. Yeah, this is one of the major points we disagree. But you did it when we were at the LA show. There was a troll there that was like talking shit, and our guys were like, "This isn't the internet. I'm gonna fuck you up." And you diffused it, and I was like, I would have let him get fucked up. He deserves it.
But like, because some big, tattooed Proud Boy wanted to beat their face in,
he was going to take it outside and curb stomp him to death. Which
I'm sitting there telling, I'm just like, hey man, dude, I think you think that you're just like, ooh, I'm gonna fucking look at this fascist meeting and stuff. I was like, dude, you are fucking with these people's lives while trying to make up stories to act like you're part of some communist movement and that are going to change things.
He was behaving in real life like it was the internet, and the Proud Boy guy was like, this is not the internet. I will take you, because he called the guy a faggot, and the guy was like, I'll take you outside and stomp you to death. And the kid was like, really, dude? Like, really? Like, are you serious right now? And I was like, yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know that guy is serious.
He's looking at me going, is he serious right now? And I go, yeah, he is. And I'm going to watch him and let him do it. Yeah, I'm going to cheer him on, you fucking faggot.
Yeah, I wasn't. I told him to be like, nah.
Yeah. And you were thinking more level-headed in the sense of like, we just had Antifa outside and we dodged that bullet. We don't need to be creating our own havoc.
Yeah. So I mean that's just how it goes. Like, again, you come up to me, I immediately thought like, yeah, I am doing the Christ thing. I don't know if you know this, I'm Catholic. But yeah, you do need Christ. You don't need Muhammad.
Yeah.
You don't. Muhammad is a warlord who fucked a 9-year-old and then promised other 9-year-olds to a bunch of sand savages so they would fight his wars for him. That's why our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ talked about everlasting life and the kingdom that has no end. He didn't say, when you get there, all the water you can drink, all of the food you can imagine, and bitches. There's 72 bitches too. That is what you tell sand Vikings to go fight for you. It's a bullshit religion that was made 600 years after the death of Christ, and they're the reasons crusades exist, because they want to destroy all the relics in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do need Christ.
Josh Denny fan, when this story came out in the Dabbleverse, did the guy give Carl credit for saving his life? Because he certainly did. Yeah, Josh Denny fan goes, this whole story came out in the Dabbleverse, and I know the backstory. Yeah, I know, because the guy is like a big Dabbleverse guy, and he's in the world of Stuttering John and fucking Aaron Imholt and all that stuff. But like, he came out to our show where there were real Antifa outside who were trying to fight real Proud Boys, and thought he was going to come in with some cutesy shit like he was at Hackamania. And I'm like, bro, there are outlaw Mexican bikers here and coked up Proud Boys who will road grade your fucking face into the pavement.
He also was like saying, yeah, I've been talking to #1 Josh Denny fan.
Yeah, he didn't say he was you, numero uno. He said,
and I was just like, I was like, so you are a troll?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I mean, isn't everybody? I go, no, I'm a human being in your face. What are you talking about? Yeah. Stop looking at your phone. Look at me. Right? Like, so
yeah, he goes, I was a genuine fan of Tripoli and Cumia, was on lots of coke and was very confused. Okay, well, I hope that, like, you say that as if
Cumia had missed the flight.
Well,
the
flight
Cumia was canceled.
Yes. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't care if he knows him or not. My point is like, Sam was nowhere around this situation when it happened. This was over an hour after the show ended. Yeah. And this guy wasn't talking shit to me or Carl or any of the people. Yeah, nobody knew Cumia wasn't going to be there. We didn't know Cumia wasn't going to be there.
He was talking shit to another. He was talking shit about trolling us to a fan.
An actual fan.
Yeah, an actual fan goes, wait, you're just here to troll? And then he got loud at the bar.
Yes.
And he was like, yo, dude, I'll beat the fuck out of you. I was like, yo, what's going on? Type shit. Like, I don't want that to happen. One, is a venue we make money at, and two, like, yeah, I'm not gonna have this shit and be like, you guys bring fights here. That's the last shit I need.
Cokehead who can be a bit crazy. First of all, almost all of our fans are cokeheads, so that's not an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, he's a good guy who takes care of his sick dad, though, from what I've heard. I don't care. Do more of that then. Do more of that than coming out and being a cunt in public. Like, because I'm going to tell you right now, if he would have got his head stomped in, and he goes, but I take care of my dad, I wouldn't have given a fuck, because you should think about that when you choose how you're going to spend. I don't go out and start shit with strangers and then go, but I'm a good person though. Like, fuck, you are not. This is weaning into like what we talk about all the time with religion. These are, but I believe in God. No, you don't, because you don't behave like you fear God, you fucking lying heretic.
Yeah, so like the notion that you're gonna show up to troll somebody in person is the same type of behavior. It's just like, I fucking hate them, I'm gonna buy a ticket. What does to stop you from? And the last thing we'll end on this about going back. I say
this all the time. One of these guys is going to get severely hurt at one of these things. Like,
and so the events that take place, that the fact that they're like, man, I could just walk up to there and do that, or I could just get in there and wait till I give them a piece of my mind. And it's just like, the guy that let you do that, they just killed.
Right.
The guy that would let you walk up to him and give you, and you can give him a piece of your mind, they shot him because they don't like words and they don't like embarrassment. Or it's my theory, he was shot because of the influence on young college kids that are all the next voters who are all going the other way. And it wasn't going to be pretty. Whether the young voter was a Republican or a far left progressive, Israel was the people they don't like. Because whether you're on the far right or the far left, somehow you end up at Jews in Israel. And not even specific Jews. I mean 1948 Israel Jews, the Zionist party, all that, the Bibi Netanyahus. You'll end up there. And it's one of those things. It's like, okay, this is where conspiracy theory means conspiracy fact. Where how much of this shit is real? How much of this shit is we're gonna take before the rest of the regular people go, hey, something isn't right. I'm not buying this lone gunman bullshit again. I'm not buying my government. FBI Kash Patel was like, hey, you must have had help from intelligence agency. Bitch, you're the head of the FBI. Tell me, or go to India. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Like, I don't get this shit. And forgive me for, acting like we're all in this chaos shit. But dude, and I'll say this to the haters, can we just get back to where y'all go, I don't like so-and-so's comedy, I won't watch.
That's fine.
I don't like so-and-so's shtick, I won't watch.
You guys are so dumb. These people don't realize that when they see the view count, they only see the view count for the platform that they're on.
Mm-hmm.
So like, used to be like a 13 viewer. No, we have 1,000 live viewers right now, dummy.
Yeah, they can't see that view count.
They can't see the next live viewers. Everyone goes, why do you have 100,000 Twitter followers, but you guys get 13 live viewers? Well, I have 1,000 followers on YouTube, and I have 100,000 on X, and so
we have 1,000 live viewers right now on X.
10 live viewers.
Just click on X,
and we get 1,000 on X.
It's like, dude, and that is like, regardless of that, can we get back to a point where ideas are challenged by other ideas? Comedians can be like, yo, even if they're like, I'm funnier than this guy, and they go out and compete and write better jokes and shit. I'm tired of comics just going up on stage and they're about to say that, and that's the Charlie Kirk shit. How many of these comics for the next fucking month we're gonna see about, man, the fucking libs are crazy, man, the this or that? Like, I don't want to see it anymore because it's just more of the same slop. And a foreign government, most likely intelligence agency, Mossad, which they said, shot this guy in the fucking neck and in front of his kids and shit. If you're not a human being, you'll be like, whatever, he deserved it. But if you had a soul, you'd be like, damn, dude, have we really gotten to this fucking point? Like, can't we just go back? This is because he was the best of whatever's coming. He's not Fuentes.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not everything they claim to be. There's way more far right people. There's way more far left people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the extremism on both sides only going to get to a head unless people start going, holy fuck, we're being lied to by the powers that be. And we used to be, even in, as late as the early 2000s, we could do that. Any group of people and be in the center, and center left and center right, could just watch the Chappelle Show or SNL or something, and everything was not a fucking political debate. Everything was not a fucking, like, so it's just going to come down to, we'll produce quality shit going forward. I'll do my part. I'll make good content that is funny and engaging, and that's all I can do, other than, sometimes preach the gospel if you want to talk to me. And other than that, like, what the fuck else can I do other than go, hey man, we're being lied to on a daily basis? Because otherwise it's going to be a revolution. And then I have to pick a side. and then I have to go like, oh, okay. It's like, this is the part we use the guns?
I would never pretend that I'm not on a side.
The side being the U.S. government you would have to fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't trust them any further than I can throw them. That's for sure. And I definitely believe they have our best interest at heart. I don't think.
What the fuck is steel toe?
Oh yeah, we don't have time to get into that.
What the fuck is that?
It's another show. It's Aaron M. Holt's podcast. The guy, the backstory. The guy whose wife fucked another podcaster, and they did a wife swap, and then there was a whole ordeal. And
I thought that was Destiny.
No. He also let a guy fuck his wife. There's a lot of guys out there. If one thing that makes me better than those guys is that when my lady starts fucking somebody else, I kick her out. All right.
Let's just be clear.
Stay here.
Let's be clear. when you found out.
Well, yeah. What was I supposed to?
Not when she starts.
Well, yeah, I didn't. No, I was unawares. Yeah, when I found out, though, I go, "You got to get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. One, they had the knowledge and were like, "Okay, maybe we can work this out."
Yeah,
maybe we can work this out.
Yeah. That's
I'm hungry.
That's real cuckery to be like, listen, I know you fucked all my friends, but maybe we can find some middle ground.
Is that what it was? They fucked. It was his friend that fucked.
I don't know. Wife? No. With Destiny, it was like the story with Destiny is like
some guy he let in his house, like hang around his wife.
Finger shit, like where he would watch somebody fuck his wife or something. Like, you know, that's where the whole supposed Fuentes and Destiny shit came out, and they were like, oh, was Fuentes, you know, there banging his wife and doing cuck shit, and Destiny like, I don't know, watch or whatever. I don't know. They have the same voice in my mind.
But Destiny has a list.
Yeah, he does. Destiny does have that little bit of a weird.
I'm a fucking extremist.
You know what I can't.
Guy's a fascist.
You know what I can't unsee with Destiny when he talks is. Did you ever notice that Mick Foley, Mankind, he does that? It's like a Coke. That like Destiny has the same jaw thing when he talks that Mick Foley has, and in a way, he literally looks like he could be Mick Foley's kid. Or something like he literally looks like a skinny Mankind.
Yeah, he's Dick Foley.
Yeah, so
Dick Foley.
Yeah, and then the Aaron thing, like, you know, that was weird too. They did like a wife swap and a swinger thing, and you know, it's just.
And then so they did a wife swap, and then the other couple was like, actually, we like this better.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much they were like, we like the arrangement of swapping off better, but the problem is like, you know, Nick Rekieta is wealthy, and so like and Aaron is not. So basically, like nobody wanted to be with Aaron afterwards. Everybody wanted to be with the guy who has millions of dollars and property, and so yeah, that's why that doesn't work. If you're going to do a wife swap, you got to do it with somebody on the same socioeconomic level as you. You can't like, no, let's wife swap with the rich people and then think the poor guy is going to keep Eddie of the pussy.
Or what about the poor chick?
No, the poor chick, she's gonna upgrade. She's gonna go with the rich couple.
I know, but then the rich girl, what happened with that? Is she still with the husband, and now they're like a throuple?
Yeah, it was like that for a little while, I guess, and then you know, I don't know. This we don't have to listen. If you want to know about the lore of all this, numero uno Josh Denny fan is the guy to tell you about all of this stuff. He'll give you the full deep dive.
Yeah, I don't.
And it's literally, there's an entire show dedicated to this lore. It's called Nobody Likes Onions, and you can tune into it. And all they do is cover this. All they do is talk about this stuff and cover this, and it's good. It's a whole thing. So.
Well, I appreciate you trolls listening to us and giving us 1.1 thousand live viewers.
Yeah, we did 1,003 on X.
I like you guys, even though you don't like me.
You too.
And I would like to say, wait, we got a plug to go before you go.
What's the plug?
Right, it's a live date.
Oh, September 27th. Yeah, we'll see if that still goes down. I got to talk to the guys about that. We'll see if we're still doing that. But as of now, we are.
All right.
I haven't heard anything.
And then that's that.
Yeah, that's what we got coming on. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy your Friday. Go on to whatever other show you got. We're gonna eat pizza and enjoy each other's.
Are we?
In a non-sexual way.
I love pizza.
I got chicken nuggies over here that I'm going to fire up while I wait.
Nuggies?
Yeah, chicken noogs.
All right, then.
All right, yos. Peace out, everybody.